Hey guys, I'm Naomi and I wrote a poem, so yeah. Okay. These vultures dress in nice suits and carelessly drink fine wine. They parade in power stolen from beneath, calling their rule divine, while the servants who were only created to serve God remain blind, eyesight stripped by those who only live by the single word, mine. A people, headstrong, unaware of the ironic reality that their freedom roams, and that descendants of slaves are more free today than Africans back home. For the knowledge to be taken is a God-forsaken way of hiding out truth. And what would Ethiopians say if we told them that their justice is being hunted for by us youth? But God knows it isn't about us. We're trying to get that bigger picture, an image that we won't let be buried by any government filter. We are so truly blessed to be constantly granted our voices. But to spread the blessings to the homeland, that's what your choice is. So maybe one day Republic just might be what it claims to be, because I'm shedding a tear for the generation that cannot see what we see. And people will tell us we can't speak out without paying the price, so let it be. But when we do, Ethiopia will rise and be the legend she is and was meant to be. Thank you.
Hey everybody, thank you Esat for funding this banquet. Really give them a round of applause. I feel that Esat is such a powerful weapon against the Ethiopian government just because you put the truth out there for people to see, and that's amazing. Change is inevitable, but progress is not. When I think about this quote, I can't help but think of the push it takes to actually make progress happen. How it takes an initial step and willingness to cause progress, to make things better. Because let's face it, change is inevitable. We get older, we change our appearances, we live and we die. When I think about Ethiopia, I think about the Battle of Ottawa and how it was the only victory an African army won over any European army while Europe was carving out the very map of Africa. I think about how our country was never colonized. I think about the Lion of Judah. I think about the unity of the people. But now I feel like the identity of nationalism that we once had was shattered into a million pieces by the government. I feel that the government has divided our people into different ethnicities, into different religions. So by dividing us, they weaken us, and we don't have that voice to speak out or to rebel against the government because we're so divided. There's constant quarrels between the people, and it has shadowed the very hope of a united Ethiopia. People are constantly being denied human rights. In 2008, they have anti-terrorist laws that have been already spoken about that criminalize the exercise of freedom of expression and speech. So these journalists are being persecuted and they're being charged for being terrorists. When you think of terrorism today, you think of suicide bombers, you think of mass massacres, but these terrorists are simply doing their job. They're trying to report news and convict and to moralize or convict the government of their wrongdoing or being convicted of terrorists. But if anything, the real terrorist is the government, not the people. We see revolutions being spread out like wildfire across North Africa and the Middle East. And now I feel like it's our time. I feel that if you ask Egypt or Tunisia, if you ask Yemen how they accomplished their revolts, they would simply say social media. We use social media every day. During the news, when the Egyptian militia attacked its own people, we were the first to hear about it through Twitter and Facebook. We see pictures of dead bodies, and we see women and children constantly being massacred out in the streets. We begin to see social media being a key recipe to a revolution. This is the 21st century, and this is how you get people's attentions. I feel like we need to be more involved, the youth, and the truth is I feel like not many of us really understand what's going on back home, so I encourage you, like it was said before, to go on Esat's website and see the news that are being reported every single day. You see news of innocent people being killed, the government's regime committing massacres on innocent people, and we don't understand that because it's so good here, but once you suffer, you understand what human rights is all about. When you're being denied human rights, it's a crime, it's an evil crime. I feel that I feel like we need to blow up social media to get our government's attention, because human rights it's a UN crime, denying someone's human rights. I believe if the youth can unite, so can Ethiopia. And I believe that history is happening right now. We're in the wake of a revolution. You see Esat's work being brought out because they know the time is coming. You know, the time is coming when Ethiopia is finally going to have a revolution for history to happen. God never wanted us to focus on our differences, but by his almighty strength, the Ethiopian people will reign. Thank you.